Very quickly to you first, Manish, what is it that would move the needle as far as market sentiment is concerned today with any budget announcement?
You're on mute. You're on mute.
Manish, you are on mute.
The only statement which the markets would be watching out for carefully would be the taxation part. LTCG, STCG, STT. You got to lower some of these. I mean, these are the only things which are worrying the market. Apart from that, the fiscal deficit number at 4.2%, your nominal GDP growth assumption of 10.5% translating into revenue collection, and incentives for exports because tariffs are hitting us, and plus your capex number. Of course, fiscal 26 will be left with some sort of revenue shortfall as things stand today. So, FY26 capex numbers are going to be whittled down in all probability. And in that backdrop, we should be looking at slightly elevated capex numbers for FY27, around 12.5 lakh crore ballpark. Plus the borrowings number, gross borrowings number at around 16.5 lakh crore. If these things do come about, markets are going to fly.
Sakshi, take it ahead with Akshay for us.
All right, Akshay, just about 3 minutes to go before the markets open for us. The indicative action is that 13 points higher on the Nifty is what we could start at 25,333. Although it's gold and silver that's crashed right at the open. 17,000 rupees down for silver, 9,000 rupees down for gold. So the over the weekend kind of a crash that we see is now getting even graver. How are you looking at the markets? What will you watch out for? What will your pre-positioning be before the before the speech happens? How will you trade the markets?
Good morning to all. Good morning, Sakshi. And it feels so good to see so many cheering faces on a Sunday morning. Well, for the Nifty, the data positioning continues to be weak as far as the FIs are concerned. A lot of short positions continue in the FNO segment. Technical placement is more or less neutral. I would suggest go for a level-based approach where 25,500 based spot Nifty would be an important level to watch out for. There might be some bit of an uptick in the initial first hour before the budget announcement. 25,400, 25,500 may be tested, but we need to be a bit more careful. Only if market sustains about 25,500, I would recommend to go for a buy position. Otherwise, it's more of a muted approach the market might give to the budget today.
Let's focus on some prices that have already come in. The Nifty Metals Index, ladies and gentlemen, is going to open 3 percentage points lower. A 6% down circuit on silver, on MCX, ditto for gold, and therefore all equity derivatives linked with them, Hindustan Copper, Hindustan Zinc, Vedant, National Aluminium, all of them slipping dramatically in trade. Broadly, the first 1 hour will be quiet, and then beyond 11 a.m. when the part B starts, ladies and gentlemen, the action will pick up.
So apart from, of course, the big picture, let's take a look at specific stocks that are going to be in focus. First of all, let's remind everyone, this is the first time, I think, that the budget's on a Sunday, or at least the first time in as long as I can remember. Yes, it is, say our experts who have been doing this for close to 40 years. So this is highly unusual. Markets have also opened, of course, to track all the action. Keep an eye also on pockets like defense, keep an eye on rail, keep an eye on anything that is PSU related, where we could see the government announce some kind of fillip or some kind of spending budgets or allocations. This is really what the market's watching out for. Any boost to manufacturing would be a huge positive. That's a bigger step that we're watching out for. Industry status for certain pockets. Of course, anything on exports and tariffs. So the hotel industry is going to be watching out. Pockets like jewelry, textiles, all of these, smaller pockets of stocks will be keeping a very, very close eye on the budget. So from a market perspective, it's not just the big picture. It's also for the broader markets and really where we could see some of that action. And key to track will be defense, will be rail. These are the pockets that have actually been moving ahead of the budget. So maybe not on the index, but in terms of a build-up, we've definitely been seeing it across some of these key pockets. All right, opening bell on your screens. Actually, what are we picking up on opening bell?
25,312. I mean, we quickly slipped into the red, Abha, as far as the Nifty is concerned, just toggling at the flat line at this point in time. Let's also pull up the Nifty Bank there to see if there is any action on the banking space. Again, flat with a negative bias. So there is nervousness right ahead of the budget speech today, viewers. That's how you're looking at. But private banks, about 0.2% higher, giving us some hope that there could be something for the financial sector, something for the... But PSU banks are down by 1.3%. There was a big expectation that something on the mergers consolidation front could be announced there. Broader markets taking a hit, 0.7% down for the mid-cap 100 index. Look at the small caps, even further down, 1.1% lower. So the larger mood, the broader market sell-off is pointing out to some nervousness. India WIX, the volatility index that tracks the greed and the fear in the markets, that's up by 3.9%, clearly indicating to a lot of nervousness on the D Street. Metals index, looking at and mirroring the gold and silver fall. It's again 4% down. What Shell was pointing out, on Friday, we had a massive 5% fall there. And the stocks that have been tracking, copper, silver, all of those stocks are down in double digits, about 15.5% lower for Hind Copper. Look at also in zinc at this point in time, a 10% lower circuit for Hindustan Zinc at 565. So all those gains that we've got in the last 1 month, many of them are going away. Hindalco down by 5%. Shell, what else are you watching out for?
Well, Sakshi, the top 5 losers are either metal stocks or related metal spaces, including MCX, 10% lower at 2275. This is, of course, the global sell-off that we are seeing. Let me just point out some positivity. We've hit upon 5 top losers. Let's look at the gainers as well. Well, the complete defensive market comes into 4. Look at Sun Pharma, 3.5% higher. And Siddharth, a very good beginning for the NSE partnership. IFCI, which is a major holder of NSE stock, is up 10%. It's the top gainer. You have Escorts in the green, 2.5% higher. The Nifty Auto Index doing pretty well because we are looking for the auto numbers to come in. And of course, the likes of Zentech ahead of the defense budget, 2% higher. Insurance stocks are doing well. That's what at least I am looking at.